Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of Startups Ask. I'm Tushar Kansal from Consultancy Ventures. My background has been in Big Four consulting at Deloitte and Touche. Also was part of the team at Brand Capital, India's largest venture capital fund by the number of deals they do. And I was heading treasury with the Russian telecom company MTS India, where I raised almost $2.5 billion for the company in 3 years. And I was CFO with Distribution Logistics. That's a company owned by Guggenheim Partners. At Consultancy Ventures, we arrange venture capital for startups and growth stage companies. And we are closely networked with almost more than 400 investors globally, right from India, Singapore, Dubai, US, UK, and Hong Kong. It is my pleasure to be back here. I would break this show in two parts. The first part is let us discuss a bit about some macro happenings this week across the world, which impacts startups. And the second part is I would like to bring a very special guest on the show to talk about his business. So, to start with, let me talk about the crackdown of the Chinese government on their top technology companies. So, since 2014, when for the first time companies of the size of Alibaba started coming up on the Chinese landscape with valuations topping billions of dollars, then the State Administration for Industry and Commerce, SAIC, which is the regulator in China, it caught hold of Alibaba and accused the e-commerce giant of selling illegal, dangerous, and counterfeit goods. That was the first time when the Chinese government, did any action on its big technology companies. But 2 months later, since that time, Alibaba debuted on Nasdaq with a world record $25 billion IPO. And SAIC, the regulator, it kept shut and it didn't do much over that complaint with Alibaba. But recently, when Jack Ma, the richest man in China, when he, on a public platform, said a lot of things about Japanese banking regulations, then his US IPO was scuttled, his Chinese IPO was scuttled by the Chinese government, and he could not raise $44 billion at a valuation of more than $2 trillion. So it was the first time that Chinese government is acting on its threats, and it has on startups across the world, and especially those which are operating in the Chinese market. Recently, Didi Chuxing, which is a number one taxi app in China, and which has 9% shareholding from Uber as well. It has 493 million annual users and 15 million drivers across 15 countries. Recently, just 2 days prior to its IPO, the Chinese government again told the company not to come out with an IPO in the US market. The company refused it, came out with an IPO, and immediately the Chinese government banned its app on the Chinese app stores. And the company lost, Didi Chuxing lost 25% of its stock market value, some $21.5 billion in a matter of days. So this shows that there is something happening with the Chinese government. As usual, we don't know much about it. There is a lot of secrecy attached to it, but it has big repercussions for startups, for investors throughout the world. The one reason behind these repercussions, world's second largest economy in the range of 15 to 16 trillion dollars, and the Chinese tech sector is very strong, comparable to the US tech companies. And so, a lot of water has to flow down the bridge, and we are yet to see how the landscape will change but the happenings, they are an indicator of the way things are moving. The Chinese government, unlike the Russian government, where the Russian oligarchs, they hold a lot of power, the Chinese government is very mindful of any company coming out of China and which has a potential to disturb the power structure within China, which is control of the Chinese government. Uh, so uh, right now, China is in the process of implementing new regulations in three key areas where things are changing. First, to restrain monopolies. Second, to govern fintech firms. And third, to protect data privacy. So the first is cybersecurity law, which was enacted in 2017. Second, the data security law, which comes in effect 2 months from now. And third, the personal information protection law, which just underwent its second draft and is expected by the year end. And what will happen is that the Chinese government, they have never allowed Twitter, Google, Facebook, the big US tech giants in Chinese market, because they don't want the information of Chinese citizens in the hands of foreign companies. The US came out with recent regulations which require Chinese companies to hand over customer data to auditors in the US. The Chinese government action against Didi Chuxing and Alibaba is because they don't want the Chinese information and data about Chinese citizens falling in the hands of US government and the US agencies. So this is what is happening in China. A lot of confidence, investor confidence, has been shaken, and there are almost 14 Chinese IPOs on the US stock markets which have got scuttled, and there are 17 more which were lined up for the next month. TikTok parent ByteDance, which is valued at some $180 billion, is has paused its IPO plans while it gets to grips with the new regulations. And the Chinese technology stocks, have lost over $800 billion in combined value since February. So this is big news, but it will affect China a lot as well, because Chinese energy economy is based on coal, huge amount of coal, and President Xi Jinping's stated aim is to go carbon neutral by 2060, and it requires a $15 trillion investment over the next decade or so. And China can't do it all by itself. It needs outside money. So we are yet to see how this pans out. Now coming to our guest today, a very special guest. Uh, the company he created is Divine Organics. As you know, the global organic personal care market is more than $16 billion, as per Goldman Sachs. The target market size for Divine Organics in India is around more than $1 billion. This is as per AC Nielsen. And the current CAGR of the personal care market in India is almost 10% per annum. And the target market segment of this company, premium and mid premium, CAGR is about 14%. Indian organic personal care market is growing by 23% on its current small base, but Divine is targeting customers from conventional, herbal, natural, and Ayurvedic segments as well to convert them. A little bit about the promoter, Mr. Gautam Dhar, and I will just introduce him. He's done his MBA from the University of Liverpool. He's a graduate in business administration and 36 years experience in global FMCG space, encompassing food and beverage, personal care, and fashion business sectors with renowned MNCs and global brands. So, hello, Sir Gautam. How are you doing?
Hello. Very fine, thank you. Hello.
Welcome to the show Startups Ask. We have this show every Tuesday, 12 noon UK time, and we discuss interesting happenings in the last week. And, for the first time, we are inviting a startup to discuss their business. It is my pleasure to be talking to you today about your business.
It's my pleasure all the way to be joining and meeting all your audiences, and it was a great honor for me. And I would love to share my experience. The organic market in India, especially the personal care, I'll talk about now. Organic personal care market size in India is very small. It's about 300 crore, let's say, as of now. It should have gone to about 1,000 crore, and that's what the predictions were for all market research companies. But it did not grow because the players do not actually believe in growing the category. Either they do not know too much about how to market the product and grow the category, or they were confined uh, in a very small space, marketing their own products only. So that's the problem with the Indian market, personal care, organic personal care market at the moment.
Sir,
But
sir,
I'm
yes, sir. Sorry,
Yeah, go
please
ahead.
carry on.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, sir, I was totally, your single-minded focus on having the organic product, and each of your product organic, keeping it organic, designing it organic in the real sense. So, as you told me one day that 20 to 80% content in the products which are available in the market is organic, and the rest is inorganic. So a large part of the products which are being sold in the market, they are actually inorganic. And in 2019 and 2020, you took so much of effort to develop improved formulations for 27 new products in the skin and hair category, compliant to Cosmos V3 V31 standard. And you redeveloped the earlier 19 products to this category, and you developed organic formulation for 18 color cosmetics and makeup products for the first time in India, and also 100% organic formulation for hair products. So what makes you go out of the way, spend your time and effort to ensure that it is purely organic by the international standards?
Yeah, first of all, very, very unfortunately, when I came back from my assignments abroad and came back to India, and I was associated with a local company here, and I was looking at the market. I mean, every other brand at that point in time, let's say 2015 onwards, started claiming to be organic without being actually organic. Even today, now, if you go out in the market, you will have around 20 products, 20 brands claiming themselves to be organic, but they are not organic at all. Uh, 50% of those 20 odd brands are not organic, and the rest 50% which are organic uh, have organic ingredients anything between 20% to, let's say, about 50, 60, 70%. But the international norm says you can only claim to be an organic product if you use anything above 70%. But what I thought is to give the Indian consumers a real organic product. And that's why I developed the formulations for Divine Organics, which all are 100% natural, minimum 95% organic, with 100% biodegradable packaging and global sustainability standard compliant. The inspiration I drew was to give Indian consumers a meaningful difference in their lives, to make a meaningful difference in their lives, because they had been taken for a royal ride all these days by all the brands available in India. Because A, there is no regulatory check in India, so anyone can get away calling themselves anything. And secondly, the consumers are not aware. And Tushar, in fact, today I can tell you and tell your audience, most of you will not be able to make any difference between a herbal product, a natural product, a Ayurvedic product, and an organic product. But there are subtle differences.
Sir, very nicely said. So, sir, what is the, I heard that EcoCert Cosmos V3 certification, hardly very few products have the certification. So, what makes you go after this? And, you also said that you got a 15 crore investment commitment not very long back. And, so how much funding you are looking for as of now?
Well, we are looking for $2 million funding to expand, because now we have about 56 products in the skin and hair care category. Let's say about some 70-80 SKUs in the uh, color cosmetics and makeup category. And let me tell you this, that in Asia, if we launch, we will be the first organic color cosmetics and makeup. It's very difficult to create a lipstick or a lip balm without the use of alcohol, but we have done so in collaboration with Ancoroti of Italy, who are the largest manufacturer of color cosmetics and makeup brands. Now they manufacture for all international brands like Gucci, Armani, and you name them. So we are looking for say 15 crore, almost $2 million, to support our expansion plan of the entire range of skin and hair care, the color cosmetics and makeup, and we have also developed 100% organic baby care range, and we are also thinking of coming into the men's grooming range, which is the largest growing category in the organic personal care space in India. And uh, why did I do so? Yeah, as I said, I wanted to make meaningful difference in the lives of my consumers, because all these days they had been taken for a royal ride, and I want to give them something which is truly internationally certified and according to international norm, and a pure product, and the purest essence of nature. That's my passion. I am already 60, so I have not done this for making some fast buck or quick money. I just want to give the consumers a real certified organic product, which they can be proud of. Uh, uh, with the concept of cleaner and greener earth as well, because we use 100% biodegradable packaging.
Correct. That's very useful information, sir. Sir, I want to ask you, in a matter of less than 12 months, your company did a turnover of close to 600,000 US dollars. And the launch, we all know how the launch was and how it was unveiled by Bhumi Pandekar. And it was, I think, the whole India, there was so much of demand that you could have easily done $10 million worth of turnover in no time. I just want to ask you, what are the kind of distribution relationships you had, you have for the brand in India and the export market, including the Middle East and other places?
Well, since these are all very specialized products and need a lot of explanation to the consumers, because I need the consumers wherever we market to actually know what they're using and what is the difference of Divine Organics with other brands or other categories, and how special we are, and how effective the products are. We only went to the top beauty outlets in the general trade and in selected cities, and you can say the metros and mini metros in India, and that through the typical most proven distribution, three-tier distribution model of FMCG, which is the dealer distributor network. And this is for India. We From company it goes to super stockist, who handles a complete state or a couple of states, and then from there to the distributors, who are all are based in the various cities, and from there to the retail outlets.
Okay.
In for the export markets, we have signed an MOU with the largest personal care distribution house of the Middle East and North Africa, namely Sara Trident Emirates LLC, and they have signed an MOU with us for marketing Divine Organics all across Middle East. Similarly, once we complete the entire distribution reach in Middle East, we are looking to go into the Southeast Asian market, like Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, etc.
Okay. Sir, if you don't mind, I will just show the launch video of actress Bhumi Pandekar and also show some photographs of the products.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, my screen is showing. So here is actress Bhumi Pandekar.
One beauty tip that if your body is healthy, then you will make it. Yes, sir. I think organic products are the future of because we have abused our bodies with so many shampoo, face wash, these everything is slowly popular. And now the time to give it some sort of routine and to take them and organic is the future because we know the source, we know where it is that it is 100% that no pesticides, no and yeah, it's time to live a healthier life. Well, amazing because my personal life once.
So that was a video from actress Bhumi Pandekar. And Divine's products have been designed in the top European labs. The biodegradable packaging, the company and Sir Gautam took a lot of pains to develop biodegradable packaging, and all the distributors, the stockists of the product are the top names available in the market, who are asking the company to give them a huge volume beforehand. So we saw this launch video, and you had told us a little bit about the demand which came from the market. Can you throw some more light on the demand side?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was unheard of in the Indian market, and especially for a startup company in the personal care segment. And let's say we launched in 2018 January, and within July, within 7 months, we had reached a volume of around 35,000 rupees sales per door per month. So that was huge, and with only 19 products. And if we had, let's say, the entire range, we could have sold, let's say, 60, 70,000 or even more per month from each door. So that was a huge flutter and disruption we created in the Indian market with the launch of Divine Organics. And I'm sure a bigger disruption is going to come when we launch that 95% organic and 100% natural color cosmetics and makeup products. That's going to take the market by storm, I'm sure.
I am also 100% sure, sir, that will happen. So, sir, as you know, we are talking aggressively with family offices and two particular family offices which have shown a deep interest, and we are talking to venture capital funds, we're talking to angel investors, and the fund ask of 2 million can be actually little bit staggered as well. But how do you plan to utilize these funds in terms of percentage? How much will go in which area?
Well, 35 to 40% will go as working capital. Rest, let's say 15-20% will go on HR. Rest all on marketing and vertical expansion, geographical expansion, line expansion, etc.
Okay.
And R&D is a big cost.
R&D is a big
Because
cost,
yeah,
of
because
course.
we have to. I believe in uh, being a step ahead of others, and if not, I wouldn't have come into this business at all.
Absolutely, sir. And sir, we would like to see your products. We see that you have a very active Facebook page, Divine Organics. The whole launch and the whole range, a lot of photographs as we can see on Google as well. So just before closing, could you tell how can people approach you, whether your LinkedIn profile or your email ID or your website, any such thing, how people can, who are actually interested in funding you, how can they reach you? And also, how much money would it take for you to do a turnover of $10 million? You had told me one day, but if you could repeat that once more.
Well, for $10 million, I think we need about $1.5 million, basically.
So anything from $1 to $2 million will get you to 100 million, $10 million turnover.
It'll take us to a bigger amount, but to kickstart the business, as you said rightly, that the investment could come in a phased manner, in a staggered way, and keeping on the milestones in mind. And then we have very big plans. As I said, I we need to roll over to the entire Middle East markets, the entire Asia Pacific market, the entire Europe market. And look, the advantages, since I have worked in Middle East, Asia Pacific, and Europe for a for a large period of my entire career, so I know the best of distributors. So for me
Absolutely.
to create distributors and go to market is not very problematic, because I know the markets at the back of my palm. So I can get for ourselves the right go to market strategy, the right kind of channel partners, and
Right.
the products are already there, which are all with global certification. I mean, the highest global certification, which is Cosmos V3.
And and how can people reach you, sir? We just have half a minute here.
Yeah, they can reach me through my LinkedIn profile, through my email, and through you. The best is through consultancy,
Great.
because
Thank you so much.
you are our investment partner.
Correct. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for taking out your valuable time, coming to the show, explaining everything in such a nice detail, and given your experience and the way you have done your work all these years. I'm sure a lot of viewers would have got benefited. Thank you for your time. Thanks a lot. So
It's all my
this,
pleasure. It's all my pleasure. It's
thank
an
you, sir.
honor to be sharing this platform with you and connecting with your audience.
Thank you so much, sir. So this was today's edition of Startups Ask. We'll catch up you every Tuesday, 12 p.m., 12 noon UK time, and we talk about the happenings in the week and those happenings which can influence venture capital and the startup world and the growth companies as well. Thank you all. Have a good day.